After the passage of a decade following the fall of Taliban regime in Afghanistan, development works are gaining pace in the war-ravaged country. Nevertheless, shattered by the fear of war imposed by the former Soviet Union and warlordism, a great number of Afghan refugees have preferred to lead a miserable life in Pakistan than to return home. Meet Zohaid. He's only 8 years old and picks garbage for a living. His fragile shoulders are not meant to share the burden of running the household. He sells garbage in return for a few bucks to contribute to the livelihood of a 7-member family. Children of his age are dependent on their parents, but Zohaid's case is different. Zohaid, like all other children of his age, doesn't like the war that has made him a refugee. He wants to go to school. His eyes speak volumes about the harsh life he and many other Afghan refugee children like him lead at such a young age. The life of Afghan refugees is often an afterthought for us, owing to the ongoing war on terror. The government is also being met by a large internal displacement due to its operation in the federally administered tribal areas. Being engrossed in our own problems, we seem to have forgotten entirely about those who still need our help. Afghan refugees live in a deplorable condition on the outskirts of many Pakistani urban cities, especially Peshawar.
It's around 1 million Afghan refugees, registered Afghan refugees living in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. And out of that, around 50%, 400 to 500,000, they are living within or around Peshawar city.
د افغانستان موږ راغلي د جنگ و شور د لاسه بس خاخاب د لاسه خپل پردم خوندي کړي پاکستان ته راغلي کنه پاکستان موږ سره نه کوي د یو خشا کوي خدای راسي کړه پاکستان موږ استنه کتلی.
Gulsama lives in the Kochiano camp near Hayatabad, Peshawar, and so does Zohaid. After the closure of Kachagadi and Jalozai camp in 2007 and 8 respectively, many Afghan refugees settled here and built shelters and mud houses. It is not a formal camp. There are no sub-camps or tents and no form of international assistance. All international assistance is directed at refugees living in formal refugee camps like the Shamshato camp.
Technically, they are still camps, but the nature has got changed. They have become like any other local settlement. They are no longer dependent on external assistance and support. They have become, in many cases, self-sustained. They are generating their own income. And that's why we prefer to call it a refugee village rather than a refugee camp.
Good food and sound education are a luxury that these Afghan children cannot afford. Not only that, they barely get any medical facilities. Driven by abject poverty, they are forced by parents to earn for their families. In many cases, these children are the chief wage earners because of a few jobs for parents and a lack of humanitarian assistance.
Trend is that the time an Afghan children reach to the age of adult, not really adult, adolescent age, let's say 12 or 13 or 14, he is made to work and to contribute to the family income.
Many Afghan boys pick garbage at a daily risk of being exposed to diseases. Girls mostly work as domestic servants or carpet weavers.
In Peshawar city and around Peshawar city, the garbage collection, street children collecting different things and selling it, and are working as domestic servants. And I would say the number of children attending the school is comparatively very low. Not because that the education facilities are not available, but because the parents want to have an extra earning hand for the family.
Zohaid goes out and works in his rubber slippers that provide him daily assistance in carrying out his tiresome job. Be it a scorching sunny day or a chilly winter morning, he collects garbage over a period of 5 days and sells it for a mere sum of approximately 300 rupees. He doesn't like his work and would rather go to a school. Zuhaid's mother complains of not having good food and clothes for her children. She cannot afford medicines when they get sick.
دا کمپلیس له د شپې ونن مریضان چې شپه تیره شي سبا بیا کمپلیس له منډې کمپلیس له لاړ شي پرچر ته ولیکي بیا چې د 500 شپږ 100 روپۍ منی و پرچه ده بیا خلک خو نه به ته راوړو بیا تور چې دوه خټو برتم کو ته خټو سپیر کا یار ته دونه دیګه کې دي هغه درو دوه خټو بیا ته ما غو ته ویر کوم ځکه خچو کنه ما ماګه سر په کټ ګولې ته ویر کو بیا خدای کومګه درو ته خلو.
He works in a very unhealthy and dangerous environment, and picking garbage with his bare hands might expose him to dangerous diseases. Not only Zuhaid, but most children in this so-called camp collect recyclable garbage and sell it for a small sum of only 35 to 40 rupees per kg. Hashim buys garbage from children in the Cochiano camp. He blames parents for letting them work.
دا مور پلار د خپل ماشوم تربیه وکړي سکول ته ولیږي یا کوم بل دغه ته ولیږي نو بعد دغه کباړیان سم علامت دي چې کباړیان دغه شي کباغه غریبانان ګرځي کور نه وباسي وایي وګرځي څوک پلاستیکونه راټولوي سوځي یې څوک تېنه کباړ مباړم راجمع کړي بس راوړي کباړیانو باندې خرڅ کړي.
In addition to exposure to diseases, these children also face police harassment.
ما نوم زار الحق دی او زه یم د افغانستان ما پلار ګوډ دی او ما مخکې کبال ټولوله اوس مې نه پرېږدي دا پولیس والا او موږ کې کور کې څوک کار والا نشته دي چې کار وکړي او زه خپل هم سکول ته نه ځم پیسې راسره نشته اوس هم نشته اوس وزګاره سې ګرځم هلتو.
Children in this camp rely primarily on the modest sum they, their siblings and parents earn. They have no schools and no recreational facilities. The sole form of entertainment for them is playing conventional games among themselves whenever they get free time from work. This is Gulwara, a 10-year-old girl who works as a domestic servant in Hayatabad for a mere wage of only 1500 rupees per month. She works because her father is handicapped and the money her mother earns is not enough to support the family. She wakes up early in the morning, having breakfast that any other child would never consent to have, and heads off to work. She knows that if she misses even a single day's work, it would affect her entire family. Her work includes cleaning the house, doing dishes, and other such domestic chores. Gulwara doesn't like working and vows never to work when she grows up. She has been working since she was very young.
واړه چې دلته باجي کره راغلو دلته کار شروع کړو زه چې ځکه کار کوم چې زما پلار ګوډ دی او مور مې چې ده هغه خلکو کره جامې وینځي چاته لوښي وینځي چاته یو کار کوي چاته بل.
Gulwara's mother also works at a house in Hayatabad, forced by her inability to provide for her family alone since her husband is handicapped. She has to send both of her daughters to work.
مونږه ورس ټیم کې راغلی وکنه بس وسم نه کېږي پردی کورو کې بچي هم کار کوي خپله هم کوو د کار والا سړی هم نه لرو خاوند مې په خپل ګوډ دی.
Her daughter Fatima has an eye problem, but she doesn't have enough money for the treatment.
چې بیماران شو ډاکټر ته نه شو تللی پیسې نشته کنه نه لرو نو بس د غریبۍ د وجې نه بچي هم داسې پاتې شو دا بچي مې د سترګې د دواړو یو جلۍ یو هلک سترګې خرابې دي راځئ بله شه راځه سترګې خرابې دي اوس هم ولاکه کېږي بولې مې د رښتیاني مې خدای بولې وه ویل چې یو کال بعد یې بیا راولې مې بیا وګورو خود پیسې غواړي.
Being only 10, she would be expected to like toys, but Gulwara likes books instead.
زما کې لوی دي خوښې دغه کتابونه مې الف ب والا خوښ دي زما ډېر زیات سکول خوښ دی زما هم زړه کېږي چې زه سکول ته لاړم شم.
The dilemma of these Afghan refugees is that they have been driven from a country with 3 decades of war and violence into another with its own disputes and problems. Nevertheless, they don't want to return to Afghanistan.
انګريزانو خو دا دواړه بچي مې انګريزانو مړه کړي مې بل زوی اوس مکتب له لار دی وسره سي هغه قرار یو ته ویلی و چې هغه د افغانانو بمان نه خخي خاص په سره غلي دي بیا هغه منې کړي ترجمان وته له پام کاوه چې ګوري ټول دم بغاری کړي هغه بغاری کړي چې راغله بګاره ټول شپې ته ونیولو ایستنه سبا میډم وی چې په خبر لڅو اما په خبر موږ لا خدای چې وکپله روزي په کدی اړیو کو کار شي وکپله روزي خو بده وکنه به ته په خدای د افغانستان نه به راغلو
جنگ د لاسه موږ دلته راغلي یو تم خلک تنګي
Afghan children and war have grown side by side. The need for quality education, health, food, protection, and most of all survival is still a challenge. The plight of these children calls for assistance from the government of Pakistan, Afghanistan, and other donors like the United Nations agencies and NGOs to extend their hands and help so that these children grow up to be responsible citizens and above all good human beings.